This is the Blue Eyes Challenge. Only people with blue eyes can pass this test. Try and prove me wrong. Don't blink, starting now. Look up without blinking. Look down without blinking. Double tap the screen without blinking. Double tap your nose without blinking. Hit the follow without blinking. Are you still not blinking? Comment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without blinking. Watch this video twice without blinking. And hit share copy link without blinking. I told you only people with blue eyes would be able to pass this test. Did you prove me wrong?
So I'm going to try and re-record again, how to do your work first time. So yeah, I went for a walk. There's a like National Day, and I felt like, why not? Why not do it? So I decided to do it. It was just really fun, so I decided to just give it a go. So yeah, that was my plan. So here's me going on a walk. Maybe walking around sort of like where I sort of live. So yeah, that was sort of my plan. It was really fun. As you can see, I'm carry on. So yeah, originally I thought this was going to be like, sort of like, 1, 2 minutes, but it turned out being like 3 minutes. It was fun still, but it was like, I started to realize, this is longer than I expected it would be. So you see me like trying to just walk around and make like something look interesting by like pointing to it. Like, yes, that's really gonna prove it is exciting. The power of I'm pointing is really going to make this exciting. Every so often you see the upside of my face because I would be like moving to the different arm. So I would be sort of like, my arm gets a bit too tired, so I just move to the other arm. So it was really fun. It was a good walk. It was a good walk. But, yeah, it was longer than I thought. I thought it was going to be like a couple minutes. And then some people looked at me being like, hey, he's recording? Yes, I am recording. Because I thought it was a really good video for like National Walk Day, but it would be really late because I kept forgetting to do it. Because usually I don't record like this early, and you might be thinking, it's like 3 p.m., it's not that early. It's like, yeah, but usually I record like 8 or like 7, so it is like a bit later than I usually would do recording. But it was very fun to sort of like just go for a walk. Weird but fun. You can see I like put those views forward because I thought it would be a longer time. I think I actually it would be even longer. Because I put this on ×3. If I put it on regular speed, it would be like, what, like 15 minutes long? I don't know. But yeah, this is just like an idea that I thought would be a fun idea. So I did it. So yeah. As me nearly finished the walk. Still a bit left, but just nearly to the end. We're nearly there. There's no point of me collecting the bins, because I collected the bins, and I went out the longer way because, I just felt like it. So, here's me walking. Walking. Nearly there. See? I'm sorry this is going away. And down.
Research shows that adding this one thing to your resume can dramatically improve your chances of getting the interview and even the job. It's called a professional summary. But here's the catch. You have to know how to write it correctly, because a poorly written professional summary could hurt you. But don't worry, I got a template for you. Step 1, adjective. Find an adjective that fits your role. So nurse, empathetic, accountant, focused, sales, dedicated. You get it. Step 2, title. Ideally, you want to make this the job title you're applying for if appropriate. So dedicated assistant to the regional manager. Step 3, years of experience if 2 or more. Or if you're just getting started out, you can say with experience in or with a degree in. So dedicated assistant to the regional manager with 10 years of experience. And then step 4, the cherry on top, specialties include. This is where you can sprinkle in all those delicious words from the job description. So dedicated assistant to the regional manager with 10+ years of experience, specializing in the sale of paper and paper products, beet farming, karate, and paintball. tweak and tailor this to every job that you apply for and just start watching those interviews roll in. You got this! And follow for more.
아무것도 생각하지 마. 넌 아무 말도 꺼내지도 마. 그냥 내게 웃어줘. 난 아직도 믿기지.
So I was watching this video by Mexico Esco, which is a very interesting idea. It's really interesting. It was about Wreck-It Ralph, about what would be life and death. But here's my question. So here's my question. So we know Disney, and I don't know if this is unintentional or intentional, but you have Disney's Wreck-It Ralph, which is an idea of arcades, and it's set in I think the 80s or the 90s. I don't know exactly when it takes place, but I know that it's sort of deals with arcade games, and it deals with the world of video games coming to life, etc. With the rules applied with it. Obviously, you have what would it be? What it would be a fun idea to look at? Yeah, this world, but for consoles, because that would be interesting. But that's not my point. I would agree that that would be an interesting idea. Being okay, what would it be like to actually look into do the same thing with Wreck-It Ralph, but for a PlayStation, not specifically PlayStation, but a console game, or would there be different rules because you have save files, and if you unplug arcades, reset. If you unplug a PlayStation, but you've saved, it gets saved unless you delete the file, and then that has a whole bottle of questions if you delete a save file, does that mean the character's memories get deleted? If you have multiple save files open, does that mean there's multiple versions of the characters? And if that gets unplugged, does that not count because you have the save files? That's an interesting question, and that's one that I would love if they looked into. They did do online video games, but that's server based. So if you get rid of that, maybe it's not the same because you're working on the same server. Because they do a MMO type game, which is more a server, whereas those. But that's not my point. My point is, even though a lot of people video games are more than just games, and I do agree with that, does it not seem that both Wreck-It Ralph and Toy Story, with a similar idea with video games, are sort of in a similar world and maybe could be? I don't know if I'm overreacting or if I'm overreading this, but it seems because of both are sort of can be seen as toys. Am I overreaching? Maybe, but maybe I don't know. That's one thing that I've been thinking of. So I'm decided to do this because, and also a little bit of a news, because today I'm going to watch, because originally I'm going to be I'm going to watch the next two, but I'm not. I'm going to watch this last week's one on Tuesday. And, yeah. So, if you remember, if you know the game Blockbusters, there's this game here, where you get a couple of these tiles here. I'm trying to not do it so I don't show it to me. But you get a couple of these as a movie. And you have to. Yeah, you can't see it, but you have to. One word, one quote, and act it. And I've got these cards. And I don't play these board games because a lot of people aren't the biggest fan, and I buy too many board games because I am too much of a fan. So, what my plan is, I am going to pick up this card. I am going to read this card. And I am going to use one word to describe it, quote it, and act it. And you have to guess it. And I'm going to be doing this maybe every day. Because this is fun. Put it in the comments if you know, because I don't know why. I just feel like this would be a fun idea. Okay. Okay. One word. Robo-dad? Does that count? I think that counts as one word. I don't think I've seen this. I've seen part of it, and I've seen the reboot of it, and I think that's giving it away anyway. Actually, it's not really, because there's a lot of things that have been rebooted recently. Let me just say. I don't know if there's a quote perfectly, but it's something like, acting is simple, it's just, and maybe like, but maybe that just shows too much cowboys. But what's the quote? The only quote that I have is from one where the character was in a rap battle, which I'm going to use because I have nothing else, which is, they should have made a more time traveling more on after pill, which is not even from the film, it's from the epic rap battle of history. But because I have nothing else, that's going to be my guess. There you go. An epic rap battle quote. So yeah. Tomorrow I will show you what that film was. Guess what that is. I don't. So this is a Masked Singer, but this isn't like the traditional Masked Singer. This is just a traditional episode and my thoughts. So Rita Ora is not in the episode again, and guess who is? Maypole. And this is the second episode that she isn't in this season, but she was in episode 2. Guess who wasn't in episode 2? Maypole. Coincidence? I think not. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. I'm sounding crazy, but I am going to go on it. I will put all my chips down. But Maypole. And they are the same person. So yeah. Maypole is Rita Ora. You cannot convince me otherwise. So yeah, besides the fact that I was doing this, it's sort of a weird way to hold my iPad because I'm holding it sort of like by the side, which is weird for me to hold. It was supposed to be a good look. So yeah. So yeah, besides the fact that I was doing this, it's sort of a weird way to hold my iPad because I'm holding it sort of like by the side, which is weird for me to hold. It was supposed to be a good look. So yeah.
And so I wake up in the morning and I step outside, but it's -10 and I want to die.
I obviously you probably know this because I did a video guessing the Masked Singer Christmas that I've done on the Masked Singer guesses before, where I kind of got one right with Julian Clary, which I'm like, I thought I heard the voice, and I'm like, Julian Clary would never do this, and I'm like, wait a second, he does pantomimes. But yeah, it was absolutely insanely fun, and I loved the one episode concept where they've done two, and then immediately reveal. It's like 4 people revealed in one episode, where it's like you have 4 people, 2, and then the first person, but the people who lose the first 2 rounds, they reveal, and then the 2 people who won, they reveal, obviously, who lost that round, and then the winner reveals. And it was a fun idea. I love all of the costumes are obviously Christmas related. You have decorations, Sprout, Partridge in a Pear Tree, and Reindeer. And I'm like, ooh, those sort of like costume ideas were fun. But the one thing which I think they were going to do, but I don't know if they didn't think of it or like I'm just being because one of the things were the clue deer, but there was a reindeer. So it's kind of weird how they didn't point out. It was like, look, it's you have one of your buddies. Like, because we're doing reindeer, like, I'm a reindeer, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But I don't know if I'm just thinking of a joke. If it's like, oh look, it's his friend. I don't know why, it just something that came into my head. But besides the point. So yeah, this is definitely a good episode and a good Christmas special. I obviously you probably know this because I did a video guessing the Masked Singer Christmas that I've done on the Masked Singer guesses before, where I kind of got one right with Julian Clary, which I'm like, I thought I heard the voice, and I'm like, Julian Clary would never do this, and I'm like, wait a second, he does pantomimes. But yeah, it was absolutely insanely fun, and I loved the one episode concept where they've done two, and then immediately reveal. It's like 4 people revealed in one episode, where it's like you have 4 people, 2, and then the first person, but the people who lose the first 2 rounds, they reveal, and then the 2 people who won, they reveal, obviously, who lost that round, and then the winner reveals. And it was a fun idea. I love all of the costumes are obviously Christmas related. You have decorations, Sprout, Partridge in a Pear Tree, and Reindeer. And I'm like, ooh, those sort of like costume ideas were fun. But the one thing which I think they were going to do, but I don't know if they didn't think of it, or like I'm just being, because one of the things were the clue deer, but there was a reindeer. So it's kind of weird how they didn't point out. It was like, look, it's you have one of your buddies. Like, because we're doing reindeer, like I'm a reindeer, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But I don't know if I'm just thinking of a joke. If it's like, oh look, it's his friend. I don't know why, it just something that came into my head. But besides the point. So yeah, this is definitely a good episode and a good Christmas special. So I have nothing. So I'm gonna do like John. It's not John. I always forget his name. The person in the blue suit and the stars. This is the sort of like the kind of episode. Besides the point. I go by Jodie Whittaker and throw a curveball because of regeneration, and I have nothing else. That's being voted out, and I have no clue. It was Shirley Ballas, which was a Strictly head judge. This is why I take the wins that I do, because I don't know any of these people at all. So Shirley Ballas apparently. It was, so yeah. That was the answer. Apparently. So yeah.
Don't you dare like this video. Did you just like it? You better not comment on it. You really don't listen for shit, huh? And did you just share it?
Just waiting for it to stop buffering. Okay. So, remember I was doing this. So, this card that I did yesterday was RoboCop. So, let's do another one. Okay. So, remember, it is one word, quote it, and act it, and I'm going to see if anyone guesses any of these things. Obviously, down the line, I'm guessing someone's going to watch a past one, but that'll be interesting. Oh. I think there's a song where it's like, come, let's fly away. I think that's in this movie. I'm just going to... That's my actress. And let me see, what can I do for like stand? That is it. I haven't watched this movie, so you know, that's my attempt. So yeah.
Okay, fine. Are we doing this? Cool. You're fine, walk it off.
If you like Werther's Originals, of course. So, if you're over 85, this was...
Yes, I did this for a video that's going to be really short. But besides the point, I'm just going to point this out because there are some people who like Werther's Originals and are below the age of 50 years old. Just pointing that out there, meaning this point, and there's not anything being wrong. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I kind of like that old candy that you sort of like suck, and it's sort of caramelly and it's sort of nice. So, yeah. That was all.
Dead Silence was another awful movie. It's about this ghostly ventriloquist who unalives.
I'm not here to say if the movie is good or not. The one thing I am going to say is I think the sort of like theme it had was like really good in areas that say dun, dun. So tonight I've watched a bit of Mars Singer and I had a thought about something because this is coming up a lot of times about Bubble Tea saying stuff about new craze, influencer, and sort of being like, if you look at the VT for this sort of like episode 4, they do this thing with a box where they like open it and like, ooh, what's inside? That looks like how like, oh, I've got a box here. Ooh, I want to like how you might do it on social media and how they said, I keep up with the trends. I think, I don't know what, I have no idea what, because I think it's also like someone who makes music on social media or like is social media and does pop music, but I don't know who.
What are you looking at?
I can see so very far now, all the way to the sea.
It takes some getting used to.
I can hear your heartbeat. If I listen carefully, I can hear her heartbeat too.
You can learn to drown out the sounds.
Oh, something as easy as going through the drive-thru with my wife, it becomes a thing. And I try to be nice, right? I try to be patient. I try to get on top of it. Hey, baby, be ready. Okay. One more car, it's gonna be our turn. Know what you want. Oh, well, what do they have? What do they have? It's McDonald's. It's the same thing since we were 4. Oh, it's our turn to order. She acts like she's never seen this menu. She has to lean over me. Do they have whole wheat buns? Whole wheat buns? We're about to eat trash.
You guys ever do this one? You guys ever leave the house without headphones? Whew. My God, this whole time I thought I loved music. Turns out I just hate my brain. Just being attacked all day long by this insecurity playlist on shuffle. Ah, what are you doing with your life? You drink too much. Gonna die alone? You call that a penis? Ah. My brain is evil. It like attacks me. It's like a bully. You know? I'll be at a party, hanging out. Everybody's having a good time, talking. My brain's like, hey, you weirdo. You're being too quiet. Everybody's wondering why you're such a quiet weirdo. Come on. Get in there. Say something, you lunatic. Come on, you freak. Jump in, you psycho. Come on, get in there. You finally say something, your brain goes, whew, that's what you picked? Ah. My brain never stops. I can't sleep at night. I'm a horrible sleeper. That's why I hate these bed commercials you see at 4 a.m. Hey, you can't sleep? Well, how comfortable is your mattress? What's your sleep number? How's your firmness? You think lack of comfort's what's keeping me up at night? And that's the problem, really? Come on, comfort. I can sleep on a gravel road if I had a good childhood.
So it's funny that Bubble Tea's going out now. Yeah, I did a video being like, social media. I'm just going to guess Maisie Smith because I have nothing. So that's the only thing I can go for. So yeah. I do think it is someone from social media, but I want to at least put a name in rather than no name. So yeah, that's my guess. But if I knew anyone, I would guess anyone's social media. It's Julian Soir. I do not know how to pronounce the surname. I'm just gonna... Actually, no, I'll put that out. That's probably better. Try and read that, but I can't. I'm assuming this person does not do social media. But yeah, I'm wrong on all accounts, so... No surprise there. But I had nothing except probably social media, and I was wrong there as well. So yeah, I don't know. So, Ahsoka. This is one of the things that I've heard a bit about. I've heard, like, That the story was by a couple of people, more specifically one person, nostalgic about it was okay when I was watching Disney Samba. It's good. It's just a simple, like, sort of like puzzle. It's not like a look. I was about to re-record it, but I don't need to. I'm just going to have the first 30 seconds no gloves, and then I put my gloves back on, because I always forget to put the gloves on, even though a lot of people are like, you could take the gloves off. I could. I just choose not to. Anyway, back to the... So the story is like, in my opinion, it's not bad. It's not a bad story. It's not like groundbreaking, but it's fun. And like, is it just simple? Is it just easy? Yeah. But it's just fun. It's nice. There's nothing much of a story, but I don't sometimes need a lot of a story. Sometimes it was just like, fun. I'm down. So I'm just watching, being like, ooh. So yeah. I definitely like how you're bringing these characters from the series into this. Because I watched part of Rebels when I was younger, and then I later on watched all of Rebels, and then I've watched all of Clone Wars. So when you bring, like, I always forget how you pronounce her name. So like, but when you bring in Ezra, Ahsoka, and the other people from either Rebels and Clone Wars, like, into this live action, it's like, yes. It's fun, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm one person who's like, yes, what I want, if I join the Star Wars universe, I wouldn't want to be, like, a Jedi or a Sith. I want to be a Mandalorian, because the armor looks cool, and nothing else. But, like, I like the idea that we have, like, a lot of the times, apart from, like, the show Mandalorian, which is important, a lot of, like, people who were, like, part of the warriors wearing the armor Mandalorians were either Clone Wars evil or Boba Fett and Jango Fett, which were both bounty hunters. So I love that you have, and I know nowadays you have the sort of like Mandalorian series, which shows sort of like a sort of more moral and interesting look on them. But you also had sort of the character in Rebels as like one of my characters. I'm like, oh, it would be so cool to do that live action, because again, I just liked her character in like the series. She was like one of the most interesting ones, being like an artist and fun and having her history be really interesting. And having a whole thing being like, oh, I'm sort of like a Mandalorian who's learning to be a Jedi, which there was, in like Rebels, you hear about one before, and it's so fascinating, it is so interesting, and it's absolutely worth watching. So yeah, well, debatably that's Rebels. Rebels is definitely worth watching. I don't know why I ended on that. I just needed to carry on because I was like, so worth watching, because that's Rebels, that's not the thing I'm really... But anyway, this is fun, the action is awesome, the characters are interesting. I have to admit that the story is just, here's a map. Nothing much, but it's just an observation, and it is still worth watching.
The doctor, Graham. What's a tricky one? You see, things never really happen in a straight line with the doc. How much do you know about her?
A bit. Our paths crossed very briefly once when she was a man.
When she was a what?
Has she never mentioned that?
I thought she was joking.
You got any idea where she's from?
Well, we've tried to ask, but she just changes the subject, yeah.
I've got a whole shelf over there all about the doctor. Everything I could gather. A lot of inconsistencies, but it's very, very interesting. Do you want to have a look?
Come on, you two. Everyone out front, lots to catch up on. I made iced tea. Possibly.
So, I came across, like, I sometimes look at my YouTube comments and then make it on TikTok because I can't make videos in YouTube, and that's annoying, and I like having sort of like videos on this. So I found this. And it's like, learn to enunciate, because like a couple of words that I say, like TH, having a problem because of like certain ways. And I can't really like pronunciate that well. But that's not the important part. That's why I'm like in the YouTube one where I tag YouTube like people who comment. I'm not going to tag this person. That's not my point. My point is this savage response where it's like, learn not to be a. I'm like, I just love that. That's all. I just love this response. It's just absolutely like absolutely one of those people. Like, yeah. So again, this one word, quote it, act it. I would definitely say definitely buy the board game, because how it works is basically you get a category, you say immersion in the category. If your team wins, you basically try and get 3 films within these categories, one word, quote it, and act it, and you get 3. You basically pick one between 3 films, and you have to try and guess. I'm doing it in a more stupid way, because why not? The last one was Stand By Me. These are more. I don't know how many of these I actually will know. Okay, I think I can do this one. I haven't seen it, but I do know it. Possessed, I think it is. I think that's how you pronounce it. Possessed. If it's not, well, you can probably guess what that word is. I'm going to bleep one of these words out. But I think you'll get the word. Your mama sucks in hell. That's the quote. And I just I can't do it all the way because that's not scientifically possible. So yeah, you know. Guess what movie I'm trying to reference. So again, this. One word, quote it, act it. I would definitely say definitely buy the board game, because how it works is basically you get a category, you say immersion in the category. If your team wins, you basically try and get 3 films within these categories, one word, quote it, and act it, and you get 3. You basically pick one between 3 films, and you have to try and guess. I'm doing it in a more stupid way, because why not? The last one was Stand By Me. These are more. I don't know how many of these I actually will know. Okay, I think I can do this one. I haven't seen it, but I do know it. Possessed, I think it is. I think that's how you pronounce it. Possessed. If it's not, well, you can probably guess what that word is. I'm going to bleep one of these words out, but I think you'll get the word. Your mama sucks in hell. That's the quote. And I just I can't do it all the way because that's not scientifically possible. So yeah, you know. Guess what movie I'm trying to reference.
Does it come with a Lego frog?
In the specials today, we have a crab ravioli.
I know it says, well, it technically does have something because they're using that sort of recipe as an idea. So this series has got like, oh, like a customer ordering crab ravioli special and all that stuff. It has nothing to do with customer service. But my question is, what's a ravioli? I keep hearing like crab ravioli, crab ravioli. What is a ravioli? Because I don't know. And I'm like, what is it? I know this is pointless and I probably could search it up, but I have no idea how to spell it. So, does anyone know? Yeah.
I went to a supermarket. I got a coconut water. I opened it in the store. I've never done cocaine, but I will drink a drink before I've paid for it. You hear that safety seal break, you're like, ooh, it's a rush, you know what I mean? Then you walk around drinking it proud. You can't hide it. You have to be like a sheriff, like, yeah, just kind of checking it out, walk around. Like you work there, like, hey, Kyle, can we get more Sun Chips on 7? You know, like that. And I walked around so long, I finished the coconut water. I drank the whole one. It was one of those cardboard bottles. This is what put me in a good mood. I got up to the register. It was this Midwest beauty queen. She was in her 50s or 60s. I put down the bottle. I said, hi, I'd like to buy this coconut water, but I finished it. This is what put me in a good mood for 6 months. She went, you devil. That's all it takes. Joy is so easy. A Midwestern woman called me the devil for hydrating on my own timetable.
I can't f***ing do this anymore!
That was seriously f***ed up. We almost died.
So you agree?
Yes, this was insane. That was pure luck. I was not in control of that situation at all. Look at this, Morty. Look at my f***ing hand. Look at this shit.
Why do you keep doing this to us?
I don't know, Morty. Maybe I hate myself. Maybe I think I deserve to die. I don't know. We need a vacation.
If you've been on this app for more than 2 hours and you see this video on your For You page, that means TikTok is digging real deep to find you some relatable content. I'm so sorry.
So yeah, just simply, like, you're welcome, because, like, your videos are, like, really fun, and yeah, I try to, like, match the cup as best as I can. I didn't have one of the smaller ones, though, and the only ones I had, which is the only thing which is slightly a bit odd, is I only had this big one where I was recording, so I was like, so the cup grew in size, but that's the one thing that's, like, I constantly notice, where I was like, it was smaller, and then I got this, and it's like, yes, that definitely doesn't match. But yeah, thank you for the compliment.
Do you know what today is? National Compliment Day.
So I recorded this, but I ran out of time, and I said 3, which I only had 2, which I don't know why. So 2, 1, to my audience, thank you for constantly watching my videos. It means a lot. I know I'm late. I know it's only the 24th. And I'm uploading this on the 26th, but I'm an idiot. The other thing is, here's a compliment to National Gen. You are such, like, really creative on how you, like, take a national day and it's like, oh, how do I put it into a video? How do I use this sort of, like, National Day holiday as sort of like a concept for a video, and a lot of them are like really good. So yeah, thank you.
Things a weather forecaster would never say.
Thank you very much, Dave. Yeah, pretty easy reporting on things that have already happened. Now, predicting the future.
So yeah, the reason why I didn't, like, I could have searched it, but the reason why I was like, I didn't know how to spell it, like I said, so I was like, so I just was like, I'm just going to make a video on it. So yeah, thank you. So, this. So yeah, let's get into it. The last episode, which I haven't got any comments for this, but I do it as mostly for fun, was The Exorcist. Which I most likely mispronounced. So the next one, because this is insane and mad. Okay. Okay. Alongside the quote of like, "You damn filthy apes." What would be the word? Unique. I don't know. That's the best I can do, I think.
I'll make that deal. How about you bitch? You make that deal?
I make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
Can't do this anymore. That was seriously. We almost died. So you agree? Yes, this was insane. That was pure luck. I was not in control of that situation at all. Look at this, Morty. Look at my f***ing hand. Look at this shit. Why do you keep doing this to us? I don't know, Morty. Maybe I hate myself. Maybe I think I deserve to die. I don't know. We need a vacation.
Why am I not getting healed right there? There's a Sojourner Genji and a Doom! Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you.
So, guess what? There's more episodes! Yeah, I think I got notified this on like the 17th. And I've been watching this. So, these are the 2 episodes. English dub. That released this month. And it is just building up. Because obviously, at this point, this is the point where I'm knowing I'm slowly building up. Because I think I said this before, again and again and again. I already heard about, and I'm already getting something spoiled because, like, there's videos, I'm like, oh, it looks enticing, so I watch it. Like, I don't watch anymore, but I used to watch the Minecraft fights where it's like, we did the randomizer on, like, the fruits, and you get 1 power from the fruits, or, like, you pick them based on, like, the bounty or something like this. And it's, like, so... I already watched, and I watched a bit from Straw Hat Goofy, so, because I never thought it was going to be dubbed. I thought it was like, oh, I'm never going to watch it, so I wouldn't try it. So I already knew about Gear 5 Luffy. So all of this right now, the next couple of months, is just me building up to that moment. Because I think it's in episode 1060-ish? So, if this is like 48, I think it'll either be maybe next month. I don't know. Because I don't know if it's 50. So, it'll either be next month in February, if they're releasing dubbed in February. Or March, maybe. If they update it then. But I don't know. I don't know if they will. But so far, the battles is just the battles are interesting, the conflict is interesting, and it's overall just so good. It is the one thing, there's 2 things that I love. One, I love how it feels like it's all coming to a point. And yes, obviously, because I know about the one thing. But it's all seeming like it's building. But the other one specific moment that I love, I like how, and I like it because of how effed it is. I love the moment where you get that sort of moment where it all goes down to the hallucinations. And how effed up that is. How effed up that moment is. It is absolutely messed up. But I just absolutely love it. It is absolutely fun. So yeah. I absolutely... Yeah. Because probably people who have already watched this have probably watched it. But this is so awesome.
Shh. Stop making me laugh.
trouble. You made me fart!
Okay, let's do this. Ooh, high A, because top S, low S, top A, low A, top B, low B, top C, low C, and I'm going to put that mid. I'm doing this based on design, by the way, because I haven't really played Pokemon, so I'm going to keep you there. Ooh, I'm going to keep you there. And you are definitely going there. And you are going there. Because I like your design, but I do know a bit about you, and I am concerned. Oh no, I'm going to keep you there. 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 Haha. Here's my grid. So yeah, back to this. Doing this. With this. Let's go! So the last one was Planet of the Apes.
The way you were back on the side of the globe.
I accidentally played that. Which is interesting because it's my second sci-fi fantasy after RoboCop. And my only duplicate because I've got RoboCop, Stand By Me, The Exorcist, and Planet of the Apes. I actually might make a chart of which one came first, maybe. I don't know. Just feeling of it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I think I could do this. I could do it. I'm trying to not do the same thing, so like, because I can use so many with this one, which, okay, Rainbow, I think, because I can quote this with a couple of quotes, and I'm trying to only stick to one, so I'm trying to see which one's the most, because I can go with. I don't remember that full quote. And it's like, I'm going to use Rainbow as a word, but I am going to use the word in the quote, so. No, I'll use the other one. The other one's, I think, more iconic. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. That's my action. So, yeah.
All right, new game. Whatever anime pops up, you have to tell me how long you think you could survive in that world. You don't get any...
Okay, let's see. I'll be dead. Unless you can train with the thing where it's like, you don't get any special abilities. If I could just train, most likely not. Unless I'm the demon, then maybe not as well. But, yeah. No. Like, I'm not that physically unique in any way, so no.
Things a weather forecaster would never say.
The humidity's rising, the barometer's going low. Tonight, for the first time, just about 10:30, it's gonna start raining men.
Poor Amy. He always leaves you, doesn't he? Alone in the dark. Never apologizes.
He doesn't have to.
That's good, because he never will. And now he's left you with me. Spooky old, not to be trusted me. Anything could happen.
Who are you? And what do you want? The doctor knows you, but he's not telling me who you are. And he always does. Takes him a while sometimes, but he tells me. So you're something different.
Oh, is that who you think you are? The one he trusts?
Actually, yes.
The only girl in the universe to whom the doctor tells everything?
Yes.
So what's his name?
That is not why you're here.
And why am I here?
Because I can't see it anymore.
See what?
I'm 907. After a while, you just can't see it.
Seeing what?
Everything. I look at a star and it's just a big ball of burning gas, and I know how it began, I know how it ends, and I was probably there both times. Now, after a while, everything is just stuff. That's the problem. You make all the space and time in your backyard, and what do you have? A backyard. But you can see it. And when you see it, I see it.
And that's the only reason you took me with you.
There are worse reasons. And Dr. Riversong. Oh, you bad, bad girl. What trouble have you got for me this time? Okay. I'm assuming that's for something I haven't done yet.
Yes, it is.
Good, looking forward to it.
Good morning, comrade. Did you have nice sleep? Would you like to sleep in? Oh, well, too bad. Sleep is for weak. I don't even know what sleep is. You set the alarm to do shit, no? So go do it. Get up. Wake up.
So yeah, the trailers. I think this is one of the most interesting and unique concepts for a TV show. The idea being like, oh yeah, so like, there's like 10 of you people here, 250,000, and yeah, if you vote no one out, you all win. But you can vote someone out. It's the idea of like, instead of it being like a game show or the idea of like, oh, there's skill, there's this, there's that. It's more of like, okay, do you trust this person? Do you trust that person? Okay, get them out. So I've been watching a couple of shows where it's like you have to like lie and manipulate with like the traitors, or like either BBC or Netflix, more a long time ago, but it's like one person's traitor you. It's just, as long as you trust everyone, that nothing's going to go wrong. Nothing's going to go wrong. But it's like, oh, who do I vote out? Who, with this and that. And it's so absolutely interesting. We're like, oh, do I do this and do I do that? And what's the best choice? What's the more moral outcome? And it's absolutely insane. It is 100% worth watching.